Michael Marcantonini back here on the Ironbirds Broadcast Network. I've got Ironbirds catcher, kind of a super utility man, Ryan Stafford, joining me on the broadcast. Ryan, welcome back. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. It's always good hearing super utility next to my name. That's pretty cool.
Hey, man, you're doing it all out there on the field. One thing that you told me earlier this season, and it stood out when we were talking about you bouncing around the diamond, playing different positions, you said the way you look at it is it's an opportunity for you to create more value for yourself and use your athleticism in a lot of different ways. How did you start to develop that mindset once you got in the Orioles organization here?
Yeah, once I heard that I was going to have the opportunity to play multiple positions, that absolutely was one of the coolest things for me, because for a guy like me, who I'm already a very solid defensive catcher, to have the ability to play other positions will create such value for myself, being that a team doesn't have to carry a third catcher on their roster if they have a guy that can play utility, play multiple positions, and still go back there and catch. So for the long run, I can see this being a really good thing for me to be able to play multiple positions. It brings value for the team and allows managers to write the lineup that they want on a given day with these whole platoon things these days. So I think it's a really cool thing for me, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It's like I'm back in Little League in a way, getting to run around to multiple positions, and it's a lot of fun.
Multiple games behind the dish each week. Overall, what's your favorite part about catching?
Definitely being involved in every single pitch, and you can have such an impact on the game, not only with how you receive the ball or throw a guy out in the game, but how you work with your pitcher, how you put down the signs, and the way that you can make your pitcher the best that he can be on each given day. So there's just so many aspects of catching that you can help the team win a ball game in a lot of little ways that people may not see, but for me, that's the beauty of the position.
We started to see that new style one-knee catching stance come into the game a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Now pretty much every catcher out there at every level in pro ball is using it. How did you get adjusted to it, and where are you with that kind of new school stance?
Yeah, I think I saw something that 30 out of 30 catchers this year started in a one-knee down stance this year, which is the first time that maybe ever happened. Yep. And for me, I'd never been much of a one-knee down guy, especially with runners on or in a situation where I need to be able to block. I've always been on 2 feet, so learning how to go from one knee and make a throw out of that position, move to block out of that position, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but the more reps you get at it, the more games I have behind the dish, the easier it gets.
First full pro season for you after you got a taste of pro ball last year. Based on what you expected of this season coming in and where you are now, what'd you think of the grind to 132?
Yeah, I think everyone in spring training was saying, hey, first full season, it's going to be a long one. And I didn't quite believe them. And I'd say about up to the All-Star break, I'm saying, hey, this is flying by. But the last few weeks hit, and it starts to creep by a little bit slower and slower. But now that we're here, looking back, it's been quite a ride, and it seems like it went by quick, but then you look back and we were playing in Jersey Shore in April and it was 40 degrees. That feels like a long time ago. So a little bit of both. The days are long, but it kind of flies by at the end of the day when you look back.
In terms of taking care of your body and making sure that you're good enough to go every single day and staying healthy and staying on the field, have you done anything differently this year than you've done in the past to make sure that you are healthy?
I wouldn't say I've done anything tremendously different, but you do find over the course of a season what works, what doesn't. You can start weeding out your routine a little bit and say, hey, I don't really need this certain days. So you can find what makes me feel ready to go at game time and what can I do every day in the weight room to get there. For me, it's just staying consistent, I guess, with my weight training throughout the year and just trusting that my routine's going to keep me going. And I guess on top of that, I'd say the most important thing is just eating well and staying on top of my nutrition throughout the year. And that's been key for me, maintaining my weight and then feeling ready to go every single day out here. So it's an all-encompassing thing. It's got to be holistic. Got to get your sleep, eat well, and do everything in the weight room throughout the year. And, I think I read something. The work you do in April reflects on how you feel in September. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing. It's just staying consistent throughout the year so you're not trying to play catch-up at some point.
Stafford skies the first pitch to deep left center. Serrano's on his horse. He won't get there. It's down for a base hit. Stafford around first, heading for second. He stops at 2. It's a leadoff double for Ryan Stafford, and the Birds have their first hit of the game.
When you're getting in the weight room, how many days a week would you say that you're doing a lift to make sure you're getting that part of the routine in?
For actual lifting and high intent, I'd say 2 or 3 days a week. It's gotten a little bit less towards the end of the year with I started catching a little bit more these last few weeks. So with three days behind the dish, it's a little bit tough to mix in legs. But I was staying pretty consistent on at least getting one upper body, one lower body throughout the week, and usually a total body on top of that. But now that we're getting towards the end of things a little bit and I'm catching more, I'm trying to back off a little just to keep myself in the maintenance mode, I'd say. So it's a little easier to hit that at the start of the year than being a little bit smarter towards the end just to make sure I'm on the field and ready to play every night.
Do you find that you need to eat more or get to a higher calorie number throughout the season to stay fueled?
Yeah, I'm always needed a lot of calories. So, like myself, I'm probably 4,000 plus just to maintain weight. And I found some things that help me out throughout the year, like mixing in some additives to my coffee, which are healthy additives. Like I'll put some butter in there now with some cream and some coconut oil. That's like probably an extra 500 calories just in my coffee. So that and making smoothies I can drink throughout the day and eating a ton at night when I get home. I would wager I'm probably around like 4,500 calories this year just to maintain my weight. So that's always a battle to try to push that needle, try to see if I can eat that much more throughout a given day. And I'm just trying to find, I guess, like not like cheat codes, but little hacks in there to mix in some more calories just to maintain.
Well, we talked about how much of a grind it is to get through 132 here at High A. You guys do get that 4-day All-Star break, a little bit of a refresh. Tell me about that All-Star break trip that you took with your girlfriend.
Yeah, that was awesome. We spent a couple of nights in Annapolis to start. We checked out the Naval Academy, and that was the first time I've been to that area. So Annapolis was really beautiful. Really cool spot to see for us. And then we made our way out to Shenandoah National Park, and we had an Airbnb out there in the mountains, and we were pretty much just secluded in our own little spot. And we did a whole lot of nothing out there for the most part. Pretty much just sat on our deck and stared at the mountains, and it was just a beautiful little reset. Get to see some nature, some new spots that I haven't seen before, and yeah, we had a great time with that.
On the baseball side of things, what are some favorite memories that you've had this year, or just favorite moments of the season with your team?
Honestly, what I'd say I look back and appreciate the most is the way that we've grown with each other throughout the year and the way we've bonded. You get in and like you know everybody, but you're not really bonded over the course of 132 games. Like that'll bring you really close. So I think it's been really cool to see how we've figured out how to solve our own problems throughout the year. It's been a little bit of tough times for some of us as hitters, but the way we stick together and the way that we have grown closer because of our struggles, and it's just going to make us all that much better because of it. And I'd say this about every experience in baseball. It's always about the people and who you meet and the bonds that you build throughout the course of a year. I'd say that stands true here. That's been one of the coolest things for me.
Now that we're getting into the off season, do you have any specific goals for yourself or things that you're going to change the way you do based off what you did last off season?
I think that I'm more aware of what I need to progress on as a player. I've made a lot of strides towards the end of this year, and I think for me it's just about becoming as consistent as I can as a player, so that way over the course of the season I can not ride ups and downs, but just stay consistent throughout the whole thing. So just yearning for some more consistency. That's one big thing that I'm looking for on the skill side of baseball, but besides that, that's putting on like 20 pounds for me. Like if I can fill out my frame a bit and the balls start jumping a little bit more, and that just plays through to every aspect on the field. So for me, it's just going to be, like we were talking about, trying to find a way to eat more calories, put on some weight, and come back a bit stronger and better than last year.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking around the cage, and I noticed your bats. It was a really cool logo on your bat. And you were telling me it's a company based out of California, local for you, and you've been swinging that wood for a while. So tell me about that bat company.
Huge shout out to Birdman Bats and Gary. He's the guy over there at Birdman that I've been talking to for a while. Being from California, one of my old high school coaches played with these guys in men's league is how I got hooked up with it. So when I was in high school, I started swinging their bats in the summer ball wood bat tournaments, and that's how I started getting involved with Birdman. And then throughout the process, they've always hooked me up. They've always been a great mentor, I guess, on the bat side of things. There's so many different bats and things going on nowadays. They always have the right information for me. They give me the most quality wood that there is. And yeah, I just love the personality behind the brand. Birdman Stew, the logo on there, is something that some guys maybe think is a little bit much, but for me, I love it. They talk about making the game fun and being a kid out there on the field, and I think that's a huge part of it that can be lost in today's game. So, you get to look at the logo, and you got a big Birdman on there. It's different, but it's something that I really enjoy to see on the bat. It's a little bit of personality to it.
We're going to wrap it up with a quick, fun question round, kind of like a this or that. So the first one is, when you're not catching, do you prefer playing infield and turning double plays, or being in the outfield and running down fly balls?
Definitely in the infield. I think it's a little bit more active, and I actually turned a couple double plays with Griff. I've been wanting to do that for this whole season, so I would definitely say the infield. I grew up playing a bit of infield, so that's something it's a lot of fun to return to those spots and get to move around out there and do something a little different.
All right, next one for you, beach or mountains?
Oh my gosh. So my college town had beach and mountains, so I was lucky enough to have both of those experiences. But I would go mountains. I think there's so much beauty, and I grew up going to Lake Tahoe. Those mountains are so beautiful in the summer. You got the lake and the mountains to hike on, or in the winter you go out there and ski. I haven't done that in a long time, but I definitely would say mountains. There's more to do.
All right, we're going to go to dessert for this one, cookies or brownies?
Oh, how about a brookie? Let's go right in both of them at once. I like a good warm brookie.
All right, next one. March Madness or the college football playoff?
Man, I actually don't really tune into either of those too much, but I think March Madness is pretty cool. There's a lot of action going on in those times, and I like watching those games. It's a lot of fun.
All right, video games now. PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox, yeah.
All right, last one here. We're going to go with food. Steak or chicken?
Steak all day. I love some red meat. It's very primal.
I got one more very important question for you. You've played at a couple different levels of the minors, some different teams. You've been on the road. Who's your favorite minor league baseball broadcaster?
Oh, gosh, that's an easy one. Michael Marcantonini on the call. Fire me up, Michael Marcantonini.
Hell yeah, fire me up, Ryan. Ryan Stafford from the Ironbirds joining me on the broadcast. Ryan, thanks for doing this, man.
Thank you. It's good being here. Shout out Mom and Dad.